and welcome to our presentation, Cityworks PLL and the Timmons Group PLL Portal, a timely tool for community development, presented by O'Fallon, Illinois, and Timmons Group. My name is Michael Edwards. I'm a project director at Timmons Group, a multiple award-winning Esri business partner, AMS and PLL Cityworks Platinum implementation partner, and we've been that way since 2013. We've got 22 folks in our Cityworks practice, and we work exclusively on Cityworks projects.
Hi, I'm Justin Randall. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of O'Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jessica Short, and I'm the Community Development Coordinator for the City of O'Fallon.
O'Fallon is a town of about 30,000 people located just east of downtown St. Louis. We are also located at the front door of Scott Air Force Base. And over the past several years, we've been ranked by NerdWallet as one of the top communities in Illinois for young families, and ranked by Wallet Hub as the 103rd overall best small city in America.
O'Fallon is also the 2019 recipient of the Cityworks Excellence in Enterprise Practice Award, and we were also featured in a 2019 blog post managing crime-free rental properties using Cityworks PLL. O'Fallon is a long-standing Cityworks AMS user, and we added PLL in November 2018. The primary reason we moved to Cityworks was to allow for an online presence, something that our previous software did not accommodate. We went live with community development cases, including occupancy permits, building permits, complaints, and crime-free licenses, which are a partnership with our police department, as well as all of the city clerk's business registrations and license types. Shortly after transitioning to PLL, O'Fallon engaged Timmons Group to develop an online permit portal with 3 key objectives in mind.
And one of the large investments that the city council and administration had pushed on to the city staff was to reduce our paper consumption. The city hall was limited in space, and storage of papers was becoming an ongoing problem. As our city continued to grow, we needed to bring in additional employees, and reducing our paper consumption and storage of that paper was an important piece to moving to this online system. We also have been tasked with embracing technology to better serve our citizens, both locally and afar. As I mentioned previously, we serve as the front door to Scott Air Force Base, where many of our airmen and women will be relocated after their service at Scott Air Force Base. But a lot of airmen and women love to live here in O'Fallon and the amenities that our city has. And so they'll purchase homes in our town, and then as they are shipped across the world to serve, they will maintain those homes and turn them into rentals to come back and retire in. In fact, one of our first portal cases was a case of an airman living in Germany, submitted an application at like 2 o'clock in the morning, local time, but they were able to complete that process on their time and in a way that was effective and sped up the process that they typically would have to print off an application, fill it out, and mail it in. The COVID-19 pandemic certainly expedited the process of getting the online portal up and running. The city pushed forward to provide an avenue for our local citizens to reduce their interactions with City Hall and provide them with a remote and safe process to continue to do business within the city of O'Fallon.
City of O'Fallon reached out to Timmons Group to help them meet these objectives. We worked with the city to make some updates to their Cityworks PLL configuration, as well as to deploy the Timmons Group PLL portal, configure that to meet their business needs, and integrate that system to an online point of sale. We thought what better way to show off some videos that were developed as a part of the training portion of our scope than to present one of those videos as a live walkthrough, creating an application. These videos are deployed on the O'Fallon City website and are easy for folks to access and coach them through the process. Initially, the user logs into the portal. It's presented with a home page where they can create an application. At that time, they select a permit type through a drop-down hierarchy of permits. They're able to get some additional help text to make that selection, and then they do put in a project name. Location is a critical aspect of any application. We tie into the city's GIS and allow users to select address points and/or parcels, initially through searching by address or panning around the map. Once the users select an address, they can add contact information for those associated with the permit, owner, applicant, contractor, those types of roles which can be configured in PLL. They can either add their own info or fill out user information ad hoc. Permit details, or some of you may know this as case data in Cityworks. It's also filled out as a part of the application. Things like dates, drop downs, number fields, currency can all be set in here, as well as required fields. Once the users filled out that information, they then are presented with terms and conditions, basically a disclaimer, which they can read, certify, and submit the application. The application generates a permit in Cityworks PLL, and Jessica will walk us through a little bit how that moves through the system here in a few minutes. Once the users uploaded their application, they're presented with the permit info page, which is a summary of all the information they've submitted, and they're also able to upload documentation. Right. The user is satisfied with that information, they can go back to their home page or review additional permits or applications. We'll jump back into our slide deck and I'll hand it off to Justin.
Yeah, so with any project and change that is going through any organization, staff buy-in to the process is an important one. And so we kind of utilize the change management style of earning that buy-in. We provided a clear explanation to the staff about their roles in this process and outlined to them why we were doing it and the benefits of the program. Through that discussion, we were able to identify a champion very early on. We continued to keep them in the process, filling them with information that they could continue to talk about and be the champion for the program and the benefits that were realized even by our staff. Again, utilizing those videos as well as in-person training was really an important opportunity to continue to get that buy-in, showing them the importance of the portal and how it could actually help them in their jobs was an important aspect of the training, but also providing them a hands-on experience for testing the site. We allowed them to test in an environment that they could make new applications, make errors, figure out how to fix those errors, but practicing that process, seeing it from the public side and the city side was really beneficial. It allows them to help customers when they have questions on the phone. But in reality, it helped identify potential changes that the group needed to make in terms of processes and information that needed to be collected. And so by getting that experience, it really empowered them to make changes to the program as well, which ultimately led to a better product for our citizens and employees that utilize this system on a daily basis.
Thanks, Justin. I'm going to talk about a few additional takeaways we had from our implementation. So first, I'd like to talk about the configuration and our inboxes. Internally, we had to prepare new procedures and train our staff, just as Justin mentioned. When we initially set up our PLL cases back in 2018, we had a public portal in mind. So we originally designed our workflows, anticipating that some of these tasks and statuses would be very important once we moved to an online system. The forethought that we put into that has really proven to be quite beneficial, and we've leveraged this with our portal. Before the portal go live, we created a series of saved searches and put them in an inbox view, which is pictured here. And we use this so that staff could see the new permits as they come into Cityworks. To help prevent acceptance of incomplete or duplicate permits, Timmons worked with us to mask the permit fee at application. The purpose for this is really so that we did not accept a payment and then have to issue a refund on a permit that wasn't necessary, and it saved us time and the customer. So internally, staff currently reviews each new permit that comes into the inbox. They verify the case data is complete and that the case is not a duplicate. Then they complete the first workflow task of application received. Upon completion of that first task, an email is immediately sent to the online applicant, advising them that their application is approved for payment, while simultaneously the case status in Cityworks has changed and now the fee is exposed in the portal for payment. Our department works closely with utility billing, and what we do is we use our occupancy permit numbers for customers to start water service. So utility billing checks to make sure there's a permit on file. If there's no permit on file, a customer can't start water service. And what we wanted to also prevent was a customer getting into the system, applying for a permit, getting that number, and starting service without actually paying for the permit or not getting the inspection that they need to go along with it. So we worked closely with Timmons again, developed a process that would mask the permit number until the customer's payment was received. So much like the process I already described, once the payment is received, staff completes the next workflow task of fee received, and the permit number is immediately exposed to the customer in the portal. After the fee is received, we are ready internally to schedule an occupancy permit inspection with the customer. The next takeaway I'd like to talk about is community engagement. We implemented a soft rollout of the live portal with a select group of well-known, trusted property managers. These are our kind of standard applicants for occupancy permits here in the city. I reached out to them individually and invited them to participate in our soft launch of the portal. Most of those invited were happy to help as they had a real interest in the portal being successful as well. We selected about 10 people, and I think we had 6 or 7. A few of them were just not able to participate because we don't allow for e-check payments, and that's the way their business practices run. So they unfortunately couldn't participate. Timmons prepared a series of how-to videos, including the one Michael just shared for us, which we host on our YouTube channel. We shared these video links along with the portal to our selected testers, and we waited for the permits to come in. Really, the best thing about using this small group was the ability to have open dialogue between our staff and the end users. We were able to solicit feedback from the group regularly, and when a user encountered an error, they were really prompt to notify us, to discuss it with us, and we could work through it with them, sometimes even on the phone. We could walk them through something. This gave us the opportunity to test and to fix issues that we simply could not identify just as internal users. We even recently had a server error due to an update, and one of these property managers called me and she explained to me what had happened, and she emailed me the error stack trace. So I was able to pass this along to Timmons and our IT group, and within 30 minutes we had a solution to the problem, which saved our customers and our staff a lot of distress. The final takeaway I'd like to talk about has to do with our actual go live. When we were ready for the public go live, we created a press release which we shared on the City of O'Fallon's website, and we pushed this out to all of our social media sites. The press release directed users to the landing page on our website, which contains the link for the portal and also a link to all of those how-to videos. We started with a small, I would say a batch. We started with just one permit type. We used our residential occupancy permits, and this was really to ease our staff into the process. We didn't know what sort of response we would get to begin with. We didn't want to overwhelm our staff or the system. But currently we are expanding our list of permits available for online application. And going live has also helped push us to implement some other forms of technology. We've eliminated using the carbonless duplicate paper occupancy permits that are pictured here. Previously, our inspectors would take a big stack of these with them. They would handwrite the occupancy permit when the inspection passed. They give a copy to the customer pre-COVID. In COVID times, we actually had 2 copies that we only needed 1. And they would take a photo of it with their iPad. They would save it to the case, and then the administrative assistants would email it out to the customers. Now we're using a crystal report. The inspectors sign it using Adobe, save it back to the case, and we email it directly to the applicant. Looking toward the future, we plan to roll out our crime-free rental housing license renewal starting January of 2022. We have over 2,050 crime-free licenses, which are currently being renewed manually, and each payment is posted by hand. Using our experience that we gained from this rollout, we plan to offer all of the licenses and registrations from the city clerk's office available on the portal. And our ultimate goal is to allow really the complete life cycle of a permit to be completed online, from application to payment to scheduling inspections. This will provide the full range of permitting and licensing services through our portal.
Thank you all for your time today. Our presentation, Cityworks PLL and the TG PLL portal, a timely tool for community development. If you have any questions or would like some more information, feel free to reach out to the 3 of us below, and we'd be happy to speak with you. Thank you.